Of July is this Friday, and WTAP is speaking with veterans who have served their country. For today's story, we take a look at a former Marine who has 30 years of experience with deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan. Now, Master Gunnery Sergeant Stephen Booth is awaiting his retirement as he plans to settle back in his home state of Ohio. Our Peyton Brooker has more on Booth's story in Marietta.
Master Gunnery Sergeant Stephen Booth is a former U.S. Marine from Wooster, Ohio. Booth enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1995. Booth says his inspiration for joining the Marines is because his older brother was also enlisting around the same time.
Ultimately, I decided if my older brother can do it, then so can I. So I joined, I enlisted 4 months after he did. I was scheduled to ship before he left, and he didn't like that, so he talked to the recruiter and actually left a month before I did. So.
For the next 30 years, Booth served behind the scenes either as a work center supervisor or as an operations chief, along with other roles centered around aviation. In his roles, tasks included working in maintenance and coordinating the training and development of other Marines in his unit.
So my whole purpose was to serve Marines, and I continue to serve them to this day. I continue to stay in touch with them and everything like that.
Booth said his toughest deployments were in the Middle East.
Well, when I went to Afghanistan, we stayed in a 500-man tent, and that was essentially, it was during the summertime, so it got up to 145 degrees inside the tent. So the Marines that were supposed to work on day or night crew, they would come into the shop during day crew and essentially sleep under the tables because it was just so hot that they couldn't bear it. Second most challenging was when I went to Iraq and I did a full year in Iraq. And really the biggest challenge was just being away from my wife for that long of a duration.
In May of this year, Booth was placed on terminal leave as he awaits retirement. Booth has recently accepted the job of being a County Veteran Service Officer at the Washington County Veteran Service Commission in Marietta.
Essentially not having the opportunity to serve Marines any longer, because that's really my passion, is to serve. And I was very fortunate to be able to accept a position as a Veteran Service Officer here in Washington County, where I can continue to serve veterans. Not maybe in the same way that I did while on active duty, but I can still serve the veterans and their families here in Washington County.
Master Gunnery Sergeant Steve Booth, Independence Day for him is a way to honor those soldiers, both past and present, who sacrificed his lives to protect the very freedoms that we have.
Really, independence doesn't come without sacrifice. And when I think of July 4th, I think of the sacrifice of every veteran, past and present, that is essentially responsible for ensuring that we can maintain the independence that we have today.
This is Peyton Brooker in Marietta, WTAP News. This is home.